Iran-Israel conflict. Iran's biggest attack on Israel yet. In a stunning escalation of Middle Eastern tensions, Iran has launched its largest and most coordinated attack on Israel to date, marking a dramatic new phase in the long-standing hostilities between the two regional powers. The unprecedented assault involved a combination of ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and armed drones, striking deep into Israeli territory, testing the limits of Israel's air defense capabilities. According to initial reports, Iran fired over 250 projectiles in a single wave, targeting strategic military installations, air bases, and defense infrastructure across Israel. Key cities such as Tel Aviv, Haifa, and areas surrounding Jerusalem went into immediate lockdown, with air raid sirens blaring and citizens rushing to shelters. Despite Israel's Iron Dome and Arrow missile defense systems intercepting a large number of incoming threats, several explosions were reported, causing damage and casualties in some locations. This latest strike comes amid months of escalating tensions between Iran and Israel, fueled by tit-for-tat attacks, sabotage operations, and growing Iranian influence in Syria and Lebanon. Tehran's move appears to be a retaliatory response to previous Israeli operations targeting high-ranking Iranian commanders and Revolutionary Guard facilities in Damascus and elsewhere. Iranian state media hailed the attack as a decisive response to Israeli aggression, framing it as a demonstration of the country's military might and strategic precision. Iranian officials warned that any Israeli counterattack would be met with an even more powerful response, raising fears of a broader regional war involving Hezbollah in Lebanon, Shiite militias in Iraq, and even Houthi rebels in Yemen, all part of Iran's so-called axis of resistance. In Israel, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu convened an emergency session with the war cabinet, vowing a firm and calculated military response. "We are under attack, but we will not be broken," Netanyahu declared. "Iran has crossed a red line, and they will face the full force of our defense." The international community reacted with alarm. The United Nations called for immediate de-escalation, while the United States reaffirmed its commitment to Israel's security. U.S. naval forces in the region were reportedly placed on high alert, and air bases in the Gulf were put on standby, indicating the seriousness of the crisis. Analysts warn that this attack could lead to a wider regional conflict, especially if Israel responds with direct strikes on Iranian territory. For years, the two nations have fought a shadow war involving cyber attacks, espionage, and proxy battles, but this open assault may signal the end of that covert phase. As both nations brace for what comes next, the world watches with bated breath. The Middle East has often stood at the edge of chaos, but never before have Iran and Israel come this close to direct, large-scale war. The question now is whether diplomacy can still find a place, or if the region is heading into a new, more dangerous chapter.